Peace be with you, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm a Croatian Dominican Catholic priest, and this is a blind Let's Play of Rogue Trader. And we'll always be beginning with a short prayer in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Okay. So, last time I finished with my character creation, and now we'll be entering into this new dangerous world for the first time. Let's go. Okay, this is interesting. There's a huge statue with a guy with a sword and a scroll. Some flying machines with some kind of banners, I guess. Another huge statue.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor sublimity.
Okay, Kunrad Voitvira. He sounds a little bit sarcastic, maybe? I don't know. So we have the tutorials here just to help me at the beginning. Okay. Truly an all-sparing sight. Frankly, such access can be tiring. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense, is enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify. Oh no. We have to admire beautiful architecture, grandiose, if it's for a good purpose. This is a very ostentatious, I guess. It's very luxurious, very grandiose, but I kind of like it. I don't like wasteful access without any reason. But, no. Who are you? Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voitvir, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Master of Whispers. So he's like that guy from the Game of Thrones, right? The Varys, Master of Whispers. He's like the main spy, I guess. Inside of what? In the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. Okay. I can highlight... Okay, Rogue Trader. A subject of the Imperium with a unique hereditary title, the Rogue Trader is tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. Okay, I know that. Rogue Traders are like very privileged persons who have more rights and freedoms than basically almost anybody else inside of the Imperium. But they have to like go and explore new worlds. I guess they have to be of some kind of a benefit to the Imperium, I presume. Okay, so he wants to know my name. Lieutenant General Paulos Scipio Grimald, commander of the 8th Army of the Scantian Janissaries. I love this. This is very simple, this is very formal, and this is like very... like a little bit rude. Let's be formal.
My regards, Lieutenant General. The Astra Militarum is the hammer of the God Emperor, isn't that what they say? Well, it is likely that fate will give you ample opportunity to demonstrate your talents as a commander.
Astra Militarum. That's the faction in which I am a part of, right? The primary combat force and first line of defense of the Imperium, right? Hammer of the God Emperor. So he strikes with us, I guess. Okay. Voidship smiles faintly, but you're not sure it is directed at you. I don't like him. He's that kind of a guy. He says one thing, he thinks another. He acts in a third way.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with her ladyship. Bear it with honor.
So my past life as Astra Militarum is not important here anymore. All my victories that I won are not important anymore. My titles are not important. Now I'm a part of this new ship. And I serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias. And it seems that I'm heir of the house, in a way. Okay. Lord Captain. A strange title for the Lady Theodora.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the Gold Emperor's service. And therefore, it is sacrosanct.
Sacrosanct. What's Lex Imperialis? Codex of Imperium Laws. Okay. Yeah, Imperial Law. Lex is like the law. Alright? Imperial Law. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor.
It's a blood duty, because I'm a part of this family, part of this house, dynasty maybe. I have to serve here. Okay.
I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium. Your fate.
Okay, so she's very influential. You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencias. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Yeah, Master of Spies. Okay. Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
So Kunrad is afraid of Lady Theodora. Okay, Warrant of Trade. The sacred relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader throughout the galaxy. Okay, that's a document, very important document. that says that we have, as a rogue traders, a right to do a lot of stuff. Okay. You say I am one of the rogue traders' heirs. So there is another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
Oh, I have a competition. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
Okay.
The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Let us join them. New quest. By the right of blood. Rogue trader Theodora von Valencius desired to... Okay, I'll have to go to the journal. Movement. Left mouse click. Mouse, yeah. On a spot on the screen. Okay. So, we have a quest. Rogue trader Theodora von Valencius. Why is it not fun? Why is it von? Why is it red von? It should be fun. Yeah. Desires to personally meet with a person recently brought aboard her flagship. A storm is brewing over the dynasty, so the Lord Captain has something important to share with her heir, if she ever gets the chance. Well, that's ominous. If she ever gets the chance. Does that mean that she'll be assassinated by the time I arrive? That's like a game logic, but okay. Follow Kunrad, Master of Whispers. Rumors, contrasts, quests. What do we have here? We have inventory. So this is our guy, Paulus. That's like hit points. Wounds. Okay, it's a little bit different, but how much punishment a character can take before suffering injuries? Yeah, debilitating effects and death. Okay, and I can increase that by spending XP points, such as increasing toughness. Okay. Weapons. So I have a stub revolver. This is the type of ammunition, I presume. Stub revolver. 6, max 12. That's like 2d6, I presume. 2d6 damage. What is this? I have no idea. No idea. Okay. 7 to 11 damage. No, it's a little bit different. So... recoil. There's a lot. Okay, I'll grasp it with time. This is my inventory. I can sort it in different types of manner. And different places where I can have items or equipment. Okay. Next we have... what is this? Character. Okay, first was inventory, now this is a character. So we have a summary. Puritan or radical? So what's Puritan? Follow the doctrines and laws of the Imperial to the letter. Making compromises with Xenos or using the weapons of the enemies of humanity is anathema to them. Anyone who suggests otherwise, they consider a heretic who deserves nothing but the severest punishment. Well, that's very radical, yeah. Very Puritan. To be anathema is basically directly translated to be cursed. In old church dogmatic declarations, it would always say, in the end, the one who does not believe this or believe something different, anathema sit, let him be cursed. Or actually that means let him be excommunicated or let him be outside of the church. You know, if you do not believe in the same things that we believe, then you're not a part of us. But some people interpret that, I guess, in a much more radical way, like curse you or suffer punishment. I mean, to be outside of the church is a punishment enough. Okay, this is like mediocre, and radical, it's, I guess, chaotic very. Always willing to push the boundaries of what is permissible in the quest for tools and means to achieve the goals. Okay, so the ends justify the means, basically. They often use Xenos weaponry or even creations of chaos for their own ends. Many radicals are punished for their heretical acts or fall victim to their own dubious methods. Of course, you play with fire, you get burned. So this is very bad, and this is better, but too extreme, it seems to me. So I guess we'll be like somewhere between neutral and Puritan, to be like healthy kind of moral standpoint. I guess this is like it's not really moral. This Warhammer, I guess, doesn't have that kind of a moral distinctions, but we have to impose our moral standings here into this game, or we will get lost into the endless war and chaos. So we have dogmatic, heretical, iconoclast. Iconoclast, belief in the value of human life and freedom. Faith in the power of goodwill, capable of overcoming the horrors and dangers of the universe without the need for artificial prohibitions. The desire to seek out common ground and compromise rather than uncompromising destruction. Okay, why is it named Iconoclast? I mean, that was like a heresy of the early church, early medieval period of the church. Dogmatic, holiness, infallibility of the laws of the Imperium, adherence to the precepts of the God Emperor, to the holy chosen ones, carrying out his will to the ignorant and unruly masses, unfettered hatred of the enemies of mankind, be they traitors, heretics, Xenos, or servants of chaos. We won't be that dogmatic, like unfettered hatred of the enemies of mankind. No. But we will distinguish which is bad. Enemies of mankind, not good. Heretics, not good. Xenos, not good. Servants of chaos, not good. Traitors, not good. But we won't have unfettered hatred. That's also not good. We fight, and we are just. But. Okay, so we have features, archetypes. Okay, that's what we chose. Quest, we were here. A map. Okay, we have to. Is that like M? Okay, that's controls. Zoom in, zoom out. This is like to go, I guess, in that direction. Was this center camera on Rogue Trader? Okay. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot. I won't be reading this during the Let's Play, during the recording. Maybe I'll read some of these. Well, not recording. I want to familiarize myself with game mechanics. I don't know how time-consuming this will be, though. Oh, wow, that's a huge... That's a dictionary. Okay, I won't be reading this, like, one by one. If I'm lost in something, then I will check the dictionary. It's actually useful. Very nice to have something like that. So what's, let's see, something around Imperium, maybe, no, circuit, rock, sound, piece of technology, like a voice, communicate over short distances or to record sound, voice recorder. Okay, Chronicles of the Coronos Expanse, that's the part of the space where we're at, different sectors. Okay, I'll be reading that by myself as well. Annals of the Imperium. Oh wow, that's a lot. Okay. Oh, this is like not as the dictionary, but it's like a lexicon. This is like a lexicon, yeah. Forbidden Grimoire. We have a Forbidden Grimoire. Psychers, Xenos, Webway, Astronomicon. Okay, interesting. It's like banned books, that kind of stuff, or mechanical dictionary. Oh, okay, mechanical dictionary is game mechanics. Interesting. That's very nice. I like the detail. So, oh, this is our ship, or cargo management. Cargo management. So, we have nothing here. And formation. I am by myself. We'll be adjusting the formation later on. Okay, so this is the area where we're at. We can rotate it. So the first thing that I noticed, there's a lot of skull imagery. A lot of skulls. There's like very grandiose doors, like entering into the Basilica of Saint Peter in Vatican. It's huge, enormous proportions. So we have like a guy here with, what is it, like a third eye, enlightenment type of a figure. He has a chain with something like eye, maybe Imperium, I don't know what does it mean. And he has as a tool for navigation. So I guess that means like exploring the space, the Imperium maybe, exploring the space, something like that, and light. Yeah, enlightening probably the space. So the idea of Imperium exploring new worlds and giving them light, something like a British Empire type of a thing. And here we have a weapon, a huge statue with a Warhammer, with a skull, and I'm not. Is that like some kind of a cog? I'm not sure. So one has navigational tools, another has a weapon. This person, there's like a skeleton in chains with the locks. Something like a mortality. I don't know, not sure. And okay, this is like a combination of Saint Peter and Saint Paul. Usually the statues which have in Catholic imagery, which have the keys, are of Saint Peter because he holds the keys to heaven, and Saint Paul has a sword in his hands because he was executed by the Roman government, by the Roman emperor, with a sword, because Saint Paul of Tarsus, Paulus, was a Roman citizen, and therefore he could not be executed by crucifixion or some kind of other capital punishment, but he had a right to be executed as a Roman citizen. Okay, so this is an interesting area, huge area. Where am I? I'm lost. Can I double click? Okay, here. So I'm going to go here. Is there a mini-map? I don't see a mini-map, so I'll be clicking, I guess. Some objects in the game can be interacted in a special way. Those people have icons. Click on the icon if you want to interact. If the cursor changes, the object is interactable. Okay, and I can highlight them. A lot of them. Let's see. A crew officer. I heard that Seneschal gave the senior officers another public dressing down recently. I don't know what it was for this time, but Versarian would latch on to any slip-up as an excuse to give someone an earful. Okay, no idea what you're talking about, but okay. So, what do we have here? We have an engine seer, not an engineer, but engine seer. So like a visionary kind of a guy. Okay, and a technomat. It's interesting. Show data on the width screen. Let's see. The second mechanism has been interfered with. Without due reverence, the duration of the data processing cycle has tripled. Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the computators. You can make out references to unfamiliar systems and worlds, among them numbers and logisticar symbols. Okay, there's a very specific language used here, like a very unique language. Let's talk with the engines here. A tech litany for machine placidity is required. Vox casting to initiate the consecration of unguents and the preparation of technomats. A tech litany. So you're like speaking to the machine and it pacifies the machine. It keeps it content. That's weird. Is there like some type of a consciousness inside of the machines here? Let's talk with a technomat if we can. No? We can't. Okay. Is this the same? Oh no, it's different. Okay. Lay people interfere in the operation of the sacred mechanisms, disturbs the machine spirits. In the name of the Omniscience, refrain from any further profane acts. Who is the Omniscience, I wonder? Can we go check a dictionary or something for the Omniscience? It's a very weird, like a machine messiah or something like that. No, I don't think it's gonna mechanical. Maybe dictionary. MN, there is no O. So we don't have a record on the Omniscience. Oh no, machine god. Okay. The supernatural entity, god of all knowledge, worshipped by the Adeptus Mechanicus. That's like a religion. The worship of the machine god, while it conflicts with the theology of the imperial cult, is allowed to continue and even spread without hindrance, since the Adeptus Mechanicus is vital to the survival of the Imperium. The Omniscience is the machine god made manifest. The machine god made manifest, and the priesthood of Mars believes the god emperor to be this manifestation. So that's interesting. They decided, these machine fanatics decided to take that emperor guy as their own. They see in him like the avatar of their god, I guess. Manifestation. Not incarnation, but manifestation. That's more like an avatar in Hindu theology, as far as I know. Okay, is there anything interesting here? Mercenary, deck enforcer, worker. What else do we have here? Crew officers. Noble guests, someone is worshipping someone. May his will strengthen my heart, may my humble deeds be benefited again. He's like an emperor cult here. A candlelit altar with a copy of the 2348th volume of the Lex Imperiale. What? The Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperial. What? What? 2348th volume? Who knows all the laws of the Imperium then? It's idiotic. Sounds bizarre. Sounds very stupid. No one can know all the laws then. What's the point of all the laws? Way too many to remember. We need simplicity, but depth as well. If you would say like, okay, we have 15 volumes, I would say, okay, that's a lot, but I guess manageable for smart people. 2,300 volumes. Oh, okay. So we go forward. Unrad. Can I speak to you? No? Open door. There we go.
One of the Fon Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Okay. First battle. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of the game. Okay, let's see. This is like a deck or engineering room. Cargo room, I guess. Not deck room, but yeah. There are tanks here and machinery, weapons. And I've been ambushed, so these guys are crew officers. I'm here. Oh, it's here. Okay, start a battle. Pistol shots. there is a Servitor, and he's half machine, half humans, like a cyborg. And he just slaughtered 2 new guys, okay. Movement, turn-based, on a grid. On a turn I can move, attack, and use abilities. Okay, similar as the D&D. Movement points determine how far I can move. 1 MP movement point is 1 cell. Diagonal cells, 2 movement points. Okay. Though, like, diagonal cells is 1.5 movement points actually. So every second movement point should be 1, right? Okay. So I can move. Do I have, like, how many points do I have for attack? Is this like a combination? I'm more of a ballistic kind of guy, so I'm gonna go... I want to protect the crew officer, so I'm gonna go here and then shoot action points. Okay, abilities. Okay, each new turn we have them refreshed. Amount of damage, it's based on the distance also. 2 areas. Okay. Certain abilities are considered attack actions, can be used 1 per turn. If I perform an attack action, I will not be able to attack again and will lose all the remaining movement points. Okay, similar as in other D&D games or tabletop games in general. Okay, so we're gonna click attack. Attack the guy. Damn! Straight shot! When you're ready to end the turn, press space or end turn. Okay, we're gonna... Where is end turn? Here? Okay, space. Nice, but only 2 damage. That's pathetic. Did I damage him for like 16 points? So I could not protect them both, I guess. I stood next to one of them. I don't like you. Now you're turned away from me. I guess I should have like a sneak attack maybe or something. Do I have something like that? Reload? No, I don't need it yet. What's this? Regimental tactics. Once per combat. I can use that. Shift 1. And attack. Oh yeah. Okay. Threat eliminated.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
So that's not just a malfunction, I guess. But someone is behind this all. Waitier removes the Vox caster from his belt and speaks a few quick orders into the device. Okay. Destroy the out-of-control servitor. Talk to Theodora von... I'm gonna say von. I like von much more.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
The Master of Whispers gives you a curt bow, and I bow to you as well, courteously. And dialogue. Oh, so, is there like a loot system? As in Pathfinder Kingmaker game? Because Owlcat, that's the same studio. There are a lot of similarities I can see between those games. I played a little bit of Pathfinder, not a lot, but like first two chapters, I guess. Okay, no, I cannot loot them. Oh, or maybe I can. The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motive force. Well, I don't know what motive force is. Tarantula sentry gun, that's a cool name. Constructed with the blessing of Adeptus Mechanicus. Using a standard template construct in the manufactorums of Kiawa Gamma. Kiawa Gamma. Kiawa Gamma. Weird names, but kinda cool. Lehman Russ battle tank, reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor. The first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortes Chthon. Chthon. That's from the Greek for earth, right? Chthonic is something earthly, if I'm not being wrong. A lot of skulls over here as well. Is the skull something like an official emblem of the Imperium? Or no, like a two-headed eagle is the official emblem. I don't know. We'll see. Violet alloy, which upon closer examination turns out to be handcrafted objects. Okay, it's like something that we took from the surface. Black shard from obsidian, some kind of glow, golden amalgam, some kind of stone, strange object, seed coral, gray-green crystal, low hum from the artifact. It's like the spoils of war, or something that we found in the exploration. What's here? Unfinished exhibit. Is this like an exhibit? This as well? The weapons? Okay. I'm slowly starting to understand. So what you guys doing here? Bounty sped. Okay, what are you doing here? You are patching this guy up. I would like to help. I have very high medics. Okay, so where am I? And where am I going? In the big room or... Let me check what's behind these doors before I go there. What's this? I am way too curious, I want to know everything. These windows look into the next room, not outside the Voidship. You cannot make out anything from the cloudy glass. Okay. Cloudy glass. That's, there's a name for this kind of a glass. Not a bullseye, but something like that. Something like bullseye glass. Vivo de Oko in Croatian, I think it's called. Yeah, I cannot pass here. No, okay, we're gonna be heading into the main room to face our mistress, Theodora. I'm not afraid. I want to get to the bottom of this conspiracy, if such a thing exists. And we're overlooking... Okay, the Grand Voidship Temple occupies the entire space below the officer's deck and is lit by countless candles and lumens. Lights, right? Lumen. So, this is a officer's deck on the higher floor. We are overseeing the temple, and there's a lot of people like inside of the temple. So we have a nice view. Okay, so what do we have here? I want to understand the architecture of the space. Usually in games I always try to explore everything that is of import. I don't like missing things. Jocasta, Sauerbach. From now on, any tinkering with the vacuum locks in the presence of tech priests. Tech priests, that's so weird. I guess there's like some kind of a machine spirit with whom they're communing. The lifts carrying people on the decks move with a loud grinding noise. Yeah, I presume there are a lot of lifts in this spaceship. The architecture is very medieval, gothic, space gothic. I like gothic architecture. Gothic cathedrals, in my opinion, are the most beautiful types of cathedrals. Okay, nothing important here. Nothing important. Okay.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Admission of heresy. We don't want that. We know we're gonna be punished if we do that. What's sin skin? His face, half of which is covered by sin skin, twisted in grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Okay, and his name is Ethelfrad.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Ethelfrad?
Ion 6. Okay, some kind of important conversation. Am I gonna interrupt? No, I don't like when people do that. Be patient, wait for the opportune moment, and then you can say something. Unless it's really important, then yes, of course. Survey the room. Yes. Analyze the situation. We're that kind of guy. Your first impression of Ethelfrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. That's very gaunt. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tick, and the jerky movement are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Ethelfrad, Theodora von Valancius's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. So one is like weak and feeble, and one is magnificent and strong. Head raised high, proud posture, very nobility like, yeah? Hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Ethelfrad. Next to the two of them, you see two more men. One is a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth, bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons. Okay, so two more men. What's data slate? Electronic digital storage device similar to tablet computer. Okay, data slate equals tablet. Continue.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer.
Okay, second candidate. Where's the first one? Ethelfrad? Paulus, approach and give me your answer.
Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse.
Okay.
High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining.
Okay.
The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices.
Okay.
Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight.
Okay.
My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Poisoned treasure. Okay, interesting. I guess the treasure is the world or something that they found on the world. I'm not sure, but It's like a planet with Aztec culture, right? Sacrifices, worshipping their types of gods, and we're like the conquistadores, coming over there, and yeah, we should familiarize them with what's right, what's okay. We should not run away. There are dangers, I guess, over there, but if it's there's a lot of uh, wealth in mines and in ores, we should use it. So let's see the answers. So we have our Lord Xenos. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case, and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. Okay, interesting. Are they worshipping aliens? Or like dangerous aliens? Lore Warp, there are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us an answer. Is it like a let's sacrifice a couple of guys? Is that an implication here? Let's sacrifice a couple of people to see if they practice witchcraft? It's like we do something that's witchcraft-like to see if the other people are doing something which is witchcraft. Alright. I have retained some connections with the Astra Militare. A few Imperial Guard regiments would take care of the natives, their spirits, and the magma. Soul fortifications have never let me down. Very soldier-like answer. We go there, we fight if we need to. Those reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interests first. No matter what means I would have to use, the riches of Aeon 6 would be mine. Mine. That's very opportunistic, greedy. Aeon 6 must be purged. For the good of the Imperium, I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. That is the Inquisitor type of an answer. And I do not know. No, we don't want to be the I don't know kind of a guy. So, I think we're gonna use the lore of Xenos that we have.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
You suspect, do you now? Someone is rude here. Okay, so we have to like fight back with words, I guess. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Edothrad. Okay, that's confrontational. Then we have, we're both servants of the God Emperor. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable. You will kindly alter the manner, or else live through it. Oh, that's like threatening. This is confrontational. This is threatening. And this is downright aggressive. Okay. This is, are we gonna be diplomatic? We're both servants of the God Emperor. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? Yeah, let's be the diplomatic kind of a guy for now. You should always approach with sugar, with honey at the beginning.
Among his flock,
it's reasonable.
Not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely.
Edothrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Now she's being the one scolding him, chastising him. That's a skill test, yeah. Okay.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Edelthred bows and leaves. Okay, he doesn't like me. I will not spend my time and my emotions worrying about him or thinking about him.
So, why are you here?
Why am I here? Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions that I wish to have answered. I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that. I like this answer. Why are you here? I don't know yet. Please, you tell me.
Clarity. A luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity.
Okay.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris.
Yes.
I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Okay. Yeah, she's very proud that she had the warrant of trade, and because of that she has much more rights, many more rights and freedoms than the usual person, so I don't think that she wants anybody to steal the warrant of trade. She must jealously keep it safe.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right.
Okay.
I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing.
Okay.
And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
So she is very powerful. She has rule over numerous planets. That's a lot, I guess. I am ready to take on this sacred purpose. It's all too sudden for me. One of... Yeah. Let us explore. One of... Does this mean that there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
Well, I don't have a good feeling about him as a candidate because he doesn't like me, so that means he will attack me at some point. That means I will have to defend myself, and he will not live for a very long time.
Blood right alone
Probably.
is not enough
That's
to earn
usually
the high
the
honor of
game
becoming
mechanics.
the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Okay. Okay. Am I ready? Let's explore a little bit more. If you're satisfied with Edelthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative.
Okay.
Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse.
Okay.
Service in the Astra Militarum is a trial from which very few people emerge with their life. That you have risen through the ranks of the Imperial Guard and assumed command of an army is a testament to your astuteness, both on the battlefield and in the tangled net of officer intrigues. I assure you, the company that a rogue trader keeps will offer you plenty of chances to demonstrate both your diplomatic skills and your combat prowess.
Okay.
Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
So I'm famous. In which circles, I wonder? And did I hear you correctly just a moment ago? Is the Master of Whispers connected or related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voidvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
So he fell out of favor. Thank you for clarifying. I ask my questions now.
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the Voidship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
The Vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Okay. So like a police walkie-talkie kind of thing, I guess. Navigator? Translation? What are these things that you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars.
That's appropriate. Because I don't know either.
Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp.
Okay.
An otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
Millions of stars. That's a lot. Okay. Should I immediately share the issues that happened in the crew? Yeah, sure. An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Oh. That would be funny. Or not.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Who are you? He's sensitive.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old.
Wow, that's
old. It has
old.
enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
So we have ships here who are thousands of years old. Is that safe? Or so I guess there is no technological advancements anymore in this type of a world if you have ships thousands of years old. Okay, where is your ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals.
Okay.
Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
Well, are you implying that we are in 3rd place currently? That we are the worst? So one of the rivals is Winterscale.
I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
So someone demanded it of her. So you're serving someone, or are indebted to someone. Okay. What are my current responsibilities, Theodora?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Okay. Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir. Yeah, I won't be fishing for my titles. If such is the will of the Lord, I will become one. If not, I'm fine with that as well. Those who are most ambitious and those who desire to acquire most titles and power are usually those who are not worthy of them.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Okay, so we have more issues. What's happening? Oh, there's a small army here with both melee and ranged weapons. And some of them have masks, but some don't for some reason. Okay, start a battle. All combatants act in turns. Okay. Start the battle.
For now.
My place is at the fore.
Abelard.
Reduced to dust.
Oh, okay, that's cleave. I know that. What?
Follow my lead.
So he was able to move, attack, and move again. And attack again? That was attack opportunity. Attack denial. Characters with new weapons block.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Oh, okay. So, if I have two-handed ranged weapon, I probably will not be able to have an attack opportunity, unless it's shotgun or pistol, because it's more usable close range. Cover to avoid enemy attacks. Okay, got it. So should I... There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot. So he has cover over there. There's cover over here. Okay. There are a lot of people here, so I should go into cover, but to be able to attack someone as well. So I'll be moving. Yeah, come here. What's this? Analyze the enemies. +3 exploits. What's exploit? Exploit stack deals more damage. Yeah, sure. And can I attack with this or attack? Nice, I eliminated the dude. Critical hit. That's 1.5 damage. Got it. And turn. No. Okay, she didn't shoot me.
See my great word.
Abelard.
Abelard.
Crush the feeble.
Follow my lead. One fewer time.
He's very capable, dudes. This Abelard. Oh wow, very capable.
To the heretics.
I am your doom.
Yeah, now I want to create a team member who is like Abelard, very strong in melee. Mort. Is Mort one of my guys? No. So we have cutthroats. Let's use this. Plus attack. Nice.
Just a minor setback. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
So yeah, they're much stronger than me. I can see that by the number of hit points or wound points.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
Well, that's very harsh. Whoreson. So Mort and Abelard are like the bodyguards, personal bodyguards, I guess.
When that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
Okay, what is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
I think there's something else happening here.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
How could there be people in the ranks of the crew who dare to attack the Lord Captain?
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Abelard, you're not very convincing.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly.
Yeah, and the incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
And what are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Arch-Militant. That, I guess, like the higher-ranking officer, I guess. Sure. I will go to the Arch-Militant. Journal. Let me see the journal. Find the Arch-Militant. On officers. So look at this. Oh, I cannot look at it now. No! I cannot check it out. But, oh no, I can. Okay. Wounds, 229. That's huge. But this is really not a lot. That's weird. So she has a ton of wounds. She's very tanky, but has poor characteristics compared to us, I mean. Because, look at this. We have nothing below 30. And she has nothing above 35. That's like the highest. Okay, and this guy, 43. Was also weak. Yeah. So we're gonna be much stronger later on, I presume. Massive metal structure never stops moving for a moment. Where do I go? Where's the shooting? I can hear shooting, I think. I presume we have to go in this direction. Heretic cutthroat, but I cannot target them. That means I should just go forward. So there's a lot of them, I guess, not just a couple of them. What's this? Heretic's body is riddled with holes. An improvised single shotgun lies smoking in his rack. Okay, interesting. Master at Arms. Is he the guy? No. That's not the Arch Militant, Master of Arms, no.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Well, he could be just not one of the fighters. He's a Master of Whispers, not a fighter. Or maybe.
Pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
It's a little bit rude. There she is. Lord Commander.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Makes sense. We must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading. Or if this is indeed a severe case of warp madness, no, not free.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Okay, and how is that?
Where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
Right, because they could be influenced by the demons or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Transitional deck.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
She glances at me.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Ethelthrad's psyker powers.
Ethelthrad is the psyker. Okay. So what?
Then it's settled.
Accompany him?
Find Ethelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
In whatever state? What does that mean?
We're in the war. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Gala field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
Half a minute ago, he was not coughing like that. I don't know what's happening.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Ethelthrad back to me.
Okay, so we have to prevent him transforming into a mutant. I shall do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power.
Oh,
You
look at her.
will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come.
These kinds of threats, usual for someone who is losing control, whose power is slowly slipping through his or her fingers. Then threats start to ensue. But okay, I guess I understand. She is losing her control on the ship. Angry Theodora. And on we go.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
You had better not fail me. So threats, I have proposition. You go in front and shield me. Well, that might be logical. But I'm simply not that kind of a guy to say to another person, yeah, you go in front of me and be a body shield, so... Yeah, I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Yeah, his wounds are still fresh. For being denied the heir of succession, I presume. Something hits you with a hard... No. Something hits you hard with a sharp crackle, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. How did that happen? Oh. That's how it happened. I promised you a special destiny, Paulus. It is time to fulfill it. Evil laugh. Okay. So, I think this will be it for today's session. To summarize, we had our first battles. We introduced ourselves with Theodora, with Ethelhard, with the Master of Whispers, who is some kind of a mutineer, a traitor, and he knocked us out. And with that, see you next time. Bye bye.